This is TCT's Daily Major for today, the 24th of August 2016. I am Jima Augustine and these are your headlines. The Prime Minister is said to be very impressed with the track record from Desert Star Holdings. St. Lucia Labour Party's parliamentarian sideline. 40 years as scholarship assistant to some of Windward and Leeward Brewery Limited employees' children, and US $43 million to finance climate change resilient infrastructure in the Caribbean. TCT's Daily Major is brought to you by Dubois Bottling Company, Ferrans Food Products, Ramco Charming, and One Caribbean newspaper.
So nothing will keep us together. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
More than a third of our children are now overweight or obese, and some reports indicate this will be the first generation where the children might not outlive their parents. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and the leading cause of death for African Americans, Hispanics, and whites. 25 million North Americans are diabetic, and roughly 2 million people are diagnosed with diabetes every year. Bios Life, the clinically proven natural fat loss.
For more information or to purchase this product, contact Ramjay at telephone 716-1400 or 450-0495 or email ramjay35@hotmail.com.
One Caribbean newspaper is dedicated to the unity of our people in one Caribbean nation. We invite you to write us and tell us what's bothering you. No matter what it is, as long as it's within the law and it doesn't offend the public conscience, we will publish it. Send us your pictures. Tell us of your weddings. Tell us when, unfortunately, you have deaths, and we will publish the death announcements. One Caribbean is a newspaper dedicated to the unity of the Caribbean. Write to us at onecaribbeanltd@gmail.com or dennisdabiro@gmail.com, and we will publish what you write as long as it is within the law and it doesn't offend public decency.
Welcome. The Prime Minister, the Honorable Alan Chastanet, says he is very impressed and confident that the track record of Desert Star Holdings, along with other in-Queen investments, is above board and in good standing. Mr. Chastanet journeyed to the People's Republic of China at an invitation of major investor and chairman of Desert Star Holdings Limited, Mr. Teo Aking, who has applied to establish a multi-billion-dollar resort development in St. Lucia. The Prime Minister says his hosts have proven to be very transparent. Mr. Aking and his team have really opened themselves up to scrutiny and transparency. They welcome it and they understand that given the magnitude of the project they are proposing, questions must be asked. Beyond that, they have invited me to every event and function that could possibly give the island extensive exposure. As Prime Minister, I believe valuable linkages will form and should rebound to some good opportunities for our economy. Prime Minister Chastanet was making specific reference to the opportunities for networking and meeting of investors. One such event was the 2016 China Cuisine Cultural Festival, which is a premier lifestyle and thoroughbred racing festival on mainland China. The event draws together captains of industries, leaders, and international representatives of international thoroughbred centers, as well as global media. Next, the Prime Minister heads to Taiwan to join the Minister in the Ministry of External Affairs, Honorable Sarah Flood-Brobre, for a number of meetings with Taiwan government officials. The final leg of the Prime Minister's trip will conclude in Canada, where he is expected to hold talk with the potential investors. While in Canada, the Prime Minister will take 4 days of personal leave in order to settle his daughter into a new school year. This is good news for our country, but some questions have not been answered. Here are some comments by TCT's Dennis Dabrio.
I understand the Prime Minister being very excited about this project. This is indeed a major project, $2.6 billion US. And if it does come true, and it is true and does work out properly to the benefit of St. Lucia, we will all be better off. We wrote about it in one Caribbean newspaper over the past 2 weeks, and we said that we'll probably need to get some people to work for us from St. Vincent and Dominica and Barbados, perhaps. This, if it does work out the way the government hopes it will work out, will be a major project, and we will support it. But of course, it does have some questions that need to be answered. For example, the Citizenship by Investment Program, the passports. How many passports will be given to these people to sell? Who will they sell it to? What price will they be selling it at? What will be done with the money from the sales? Now, what will be their initial investment? These investors are coming, what will be their initial investments? And what guarantees do we have? First of all, if we give them the passport to sell, how do we know, or what securities do we have set in place to ensure that they sell it to people of character? We need to know these things. We need to know how much they're going to be selling the passport at. Because there are many rumors, and we cannot live off rumors. We've been told by people who say they have seen one of the initial agreements that they did not sign, that there were some clauses that were very bad, and we'd like to know what these clauses are. What guarantees will we have? We need to know that. Are there any penalties against the investors if the projects fail and our economies turn topsy-turvy, upside down? In short, would we get any compensation if by what they have done, they have disrupted our economy or even caused a problem within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Authority? That's major. Will be affecting all the countries of the OECS. And we want to be sure that if these people come and invest, they stick to certain basic principles, and these principles will be overseen by the government. So we need to know that. Surprisingly, we've been told that if the project fails, listen to this, I cannot prove it, but I was told by someone who said they saw one of the agreements, that if the project fails, the investors who may have caused the project to fail will have to be compensated for the failure of the project, and we, the people of St. Lucia, will have to pay them. We will have to pay them compensation. But not only that, we'll have to buy back any land or properties that they had invested in, that they had bought and invested in. If the project fails within a certain time, we have to buy it back. Is this true? Did the Prime Minister sign an agreement that says that? We need to know. And if he did, I'm sure he had good reason for doing it, but he must tell us what the reason is. Is there a clause which says that the investors could take money earned from the sale of our passports and other monies earned and place that money in a bank outside the reach of the government of St. Lucia? I cannot believe that any one of us would agree that this could be done. But what's worse, these investors need only give, I think it's 7 days, they told me, 7 days notice, and then they can write that check and the bank will have to pay it. So, you know, these are things that are very worrying. They are very worrying concerns. We are told that the agreement has been signed, and we hope that they and many others will rectify that these agreements, that many of them, that these problems, what we see as problems, were rectified before the ink was finally put to paper. It is therefore up to the government now to come out and explain the contract to the people, because it's vitally important that we, the people, understand the details if we are to live with this contract. We would love to have such a major investment in our country, and we'll be happy to cooperate fully with the government in publicizing the potential benefits to our people. I'm now offering TCT to be the public relations department for the government as far as this is concerned, and we will do right whatever you tell us, but we will obviously analyze it ourselves also. We will use One Caribbean also for that purpose, because we believe it is a major project. Unfortunately, the ink has been dried by now, the agreement was arrived at, and it has been signed. So if some of these problems which we present to you now have not been corrected, we'll have to find a way to renegotiate. But solutions, we hope they were corrected, and if they were, then we congratulate the government. If they were not, let us work together to ensure that they're corrected. Because we cannot have these people come here, whatever names they have, and they have big names and they have big investments all over the world, but they cannot come here and use our money, risk our money, use our workers, risk our workers, and then turn around and say they lost money, so we must pay them for losing that money. This, to me, seems ridiculous. I cannot believe it is true. I want to believe it is not true. And I ask the government to come out and tell us the facts. We've tried to get a copy of the original agreement, which we were told was renegotiated, but we failed. So we will try to get a copy of this agreement. Oh, before I leave, one last thing. I'm told that one of the conditions of the signing of the agreement was that the details of the agreement would be left confidential between the government and the company for 2 years. I cannot agree to that, Mr. Prime Minister. I hope you didn't. On Saturday night, Saturday evening, following the weekend review, we will bring you Let's Talk Politics. Let's Talk Politics is a program we use to talk about things like these. And we hope we'll be able to give you a proper analysis of what we know. But we know very little, because what we know was the facts proposed in the original agreement, and we are told that the final agreement is vastly different. But we will do our best. We'll invite the government, we'll invite the people at the who have now the power of the CIP to come and to explain the situation to us. If they come, we will welcome them. If they don't come, we'll still bring you the facts as we know them. I'm Dennis Dabrio, reporting.
It has been brought to the attention of the St. Lucia Labour Party that the government of St. Lucia has recently approved funds in respect of the annual school assistance program to have been overseen by the St. Lucia Social Development Fund. The St. Lucia Labour Party is, however, disturbed and concerned that the distribution of these funds has commenced absence in the involvement of our 6 sitting members of Parliament. It is a long-established practice that whilst the funds are made available by the government, the disbursement of these are actually channeled via the elected Parliament representatives. In addition to the fact that none of St. Lucia Labour Party's elected members of Parliament has been contacted, we have also made aware that in some instances the United Workers' Party's losing candidates are already engaged in recommending individuals for these bursaries. These actions by the government are not only discriminatory and unlawful, but in addition, they seek to relegate the duly elected St. Lucia Labour Party's members of parliament whilst promoting the failed United Workers' Party candidates. The St. Lucia Labour Party further notes that the short-term employment program has commenced and hitherto the party's elected members of parliament have been sidelined as to date no one from the executing agency has contacted any St. Lucia Labour Party parliamentarian. The St. Lucia Labour Party not only strongly condemns this unlawful practice of the government, but also reminds Prime Minister Chasney that whilst in office, we respected the wishes of the electorate and involved all opposition ministers in every activity related to their constituencies. The St. Lucia Labour Party therefore calls on Prime Minister Chasney to do likewise and respect the wishes of the electorate by treating the opposition MPs with the dignity befitting of their office. For the past 40 years, Windward and Leeward Brewery has viewed their employees as an integral part of the company's success and also include the employees' families in this approach. One of the main elements of this philosophy includes the awarding of annual scholarship assistance to some of the employees' children. This year's scholarship awardees were announced in a brief ceremony at the brewery last Thursday afternoon. This is done in part through a corporate commitment to learning and development by supporting the employees' children's education.
WLBL is a learning environment. We encourage and support personal development. It is our belief that continued growth, development, and employee well-being depend on an environment where learning is encouraged and supported. As a corporate partner, we believe it is our responsibility to serve diligently and ensure that we support our employees not only with their development, but also with that of their children.
The brewery demonstrated this commitment through annually providing scholarship assistance to some of the employees' children, and have again pledged to continue this effort. During a brief ceremony in honor of this year's scholarship recipients, words of wisdom and inspiration were provided by the featured speaker, Mrs. Valmont. She encouraged the students to embrace the gift and to make sure that they work hard to show their appreciation.
If you believe in your self-worth, then you must achieve and you will achieve. As a student, you must set out your goals and priorities. And with determination and perseverance, these goals will be achieved.
Efforts to deal with the delinquency in schools are being strengthened as the Ministry of Education presents laptops to the Community Relations Branch of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. More in this report.
Efforts to deal with delinquency in schools are being strengthened as the Ministry of Education presented laptops to the Community Relations Branch of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force in a recent handover ceremony. The laptops are expected to assist with conducting research and educating young delinquents in various schools island-wide. Minister for Education, the Honorable Dr. Gail Rigobert, says she is extremely pleased with the collaboration between the ministry and the Community Relations Branch.
I trust that with these additional tools, you can enhance your levels of efficiency and broaden your intervention as we continue to partner to bring delinquency in schools under control. I trust that the suspension program that we continue to collaborate on will receive not only additional resources in terms of hardware, but also in terms of technical assistance.
Minister for Home Affairs, Justice and National Security, Herman Gill Francis, expressed appreciation for the donation, which he says will assist in the work of the police force with St. Lucian youth.
Our youth are in crisis, and it is good that we have a department in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force that deals with these very volatile youngsters. And it is important when we're dealing with crime situation to deal with it in a holistic way. And we need to start with our young people. So having said that, I want to thank the Minister and her staff for so kindly and graciously giving us the 8 laptops so that we can enhance our work.
The Home Affairs Minister believes it is of utmost importance to work with the youth at an early stage of their lives in order to ensure they don't become problems for society at a later period in their development. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, I am Fernal Neptune reporting.
The OECS Commission, in collaboration with the ACP EU Migration Action, will be hosting a virtual stakeholder forum on diaspora engagement and remittances on Thursday, August 25, 2016, at the Casters Room of the OECS Commission, Mount Fortune. Local participants will be present at the OECS Commission, with representatives from member states logging in virtually. The purpose of this forum is for the presentation of recommendations on diaspora engagement and remittances undertaken by the technical experts engaged under the ACP EU Migration Action, Mr. Pedro Marcelino. The forum will also garner feedback from key stakeholders. This action is funded under the ACP EU Migration Act, is supported by the Secretariat of the African, Caribbean and Pacific Group of States and the European Union. The Department of Physical Planning wishes to inform the public that the survey and mapping and physical planning sections located on the first floor of the Graham Louise Administrative Building, Waterfront Castries, was closed today, August 24th. Business will resume on Thursday, August 25th at 8 a.m. The department apologizes for any inconvenience caused. This is TCT's Daily Major. Still to come, a consultant to produce an assessment report capturing the technology needs of St. Lucia is being sought.
Crystal clear, yeah. That's what we drink it. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear, yeah. It's so refreshing. I don't want no other water. The choice is crystal clear. Cool the temperature, revitalize me with. Give me a bottle of water. All on the road is inside the bottle. Everybody's drinking water. Crystal clear, yeah. It's so refreshing. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear.
The choice is clear. Crystal clear. Premium, purified drinking water from Jubilee's Bottling Company Limited.
The way you smile at me is everything I dream.
Your Lucelec bill has been redesigned to give you more information. The top portion of your bill contains an invoice number, Lucelec's VAT identification number, and customer address. A past due stamp is displayed if your payment is overdue at the time of billing. Ignore it if you've already made your payment. To the right is a barcode for easy processing of your payments at Lucelec's customer service offices only. The billing summary highlights any amounts due from the prior billing, total of all payments made between your last bill and your last payment date, any other charges or credits to your account, any fees for returned checks or reconnection, VAT charges on these fees, the balance brought forward, your current charges for the billing period, the total amount outstanding on your account, and the date by which it should be paid.
Experience the flavor of icy. Icy, yeah. Icy, icy. icy. Pop it up, let's start the party. Ooh, yeah, I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah, I love the taste.
The orange and the pear, the cherry and banana, the apple, ginger beer, or strawberry for your mama. Grapefruit, cola, champagne, sorrel if you wanna. Quench your thirst first, have an icy soda water.
Icy, yeah, icy. Pop it up, let's start the party. Ooh, yeah, I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah, I love the taste. Icy.
Experience the flavor of icy. Bottled by Dublay's Bottling Company Limited.
Ramco pasta is a master. Your staple of choice because the quality is superior. No gluten, no white flour, 100% semolina. Ramco pasta tastes better, I swear. Ramco pasta forever. When I using mac and cheese, bon. Give me some more, please. Ramco have variety, go Betty to Betty and Fusilini.
Ramco, the taste we know, met you. Now available at all leading outlets. Distributed by Ramco. For more information, call 450-0495.
The government of St. Lucia is legally required to periodically prepare and submit national communications reports to the UNFCCC Conference of Parties. The primary objective of the reports is to enable countries to document work undertaken and plan in response to the adverse impacts of the climate change. The Department of Sustainable Development therefore seeks to engage a consultant to produce an assessment report capturing the technology need for St. Lucia, which are key to assisting with achieving the objectives of the UNFCCC and St. Lucia's adaptation and mitigation priorities. Submission should be received by 4:30 on Tuesday, August 30th. The St. Lucia Air and Seaport Authorities, Rainfresh Limited, and the National Fair Trade Organization confirms that effective August 29th, the load of bananas and juice line vessels for export will take place at the Castries Seaport. The loading operation, which currently takes place at the Vieux-Fort Port, will be relocated to the Castries Seaport for operational and economic efficiencies. The Castries Seaport is a multi-purpose port which is more than adequately equipped to handle banana loading operations in keeping with the requirements of the shipping line. The relocation is as a result of a business decision by JIS Line to undertake one instead of two ports calls on the island. The shipping line has cited operational as well as economic reasons for the decision, partly as a result of the declining cargo volume in and out of Port Vieux-Fort. Senior Manager of Strategic Initiatives at St. Lucia Air and Seaport Association, Ben Emmanuel, said, "We are aware of the potential challenges this relocation may cause in the immediate future, and Winfresh NFTO and St. Lucia Air and Seaport Association remains steadfast in our commitment to serving the banana farmers of St. Lucia. We will continue to work with all stakeholders to ensure that the bananas are loaded for export as efficiently and effectively as possible and in a timely manner in order to reach destination markets with little to no difficulties. Stakeholder sensitization of the impending change will continue as the organization seeks to ensure that all parties are adequately informed and prepared for this location." A conference on the national focal points on quality in healthcare was held on Tuesday, August 23, 2016 at the Bay Gardens Hotel. The project is being run by the Ministry of Health and is being funded by the European Union. Dominic Fryer tells us more.
So we're trying to improve the quality of healthcare services in St. Lucia, and we're working with healthcare professionals both at the primary level, at your doctor's offices, as well as the hospital level. And we're trying to look at how we can make services better for patients. Like all countries, St. Lucia has many of the problems where we have rising diabetes and hypertension and other emergencies such as Zika. So there's a lot of pressures on the healthcare system. But as we've seen, we've got a very dedicated workforce, and a lot of healthcare professionals are trying their very best to meet these new challenges. So we've just completed 7 months of training in quality assurance techniques, looking at how to monitor and evaluate services and how to make them better for all patients.
Registered nurse and a manager at the Victoria Hospital, Natalie Preville, said that they have pulled together professionals from different areas of the health department to put their heads together where quality is concerned so that the best care will be given to patients.
I think for the first time, at least to my knowledge, we've pulled together professionals not just from different areas of health, but from different departments in the health sector. So that's been good to be able to hear from colleagues in other areas of the health department and to put our ideas together where quality is concerned. I'm also aware that there is an overall document with guidelines being prepared to gel the work that we've been doing individually over the last few years. So it helps pull together all the different facets of the health sector. Quality is how do we do what we do and do we do it well? So we want to give the best care that we can to our patients. For us, that's foundational. We look at what are some of the problems that exist, the gaps that prevent us from providing that kind of care, and how can we bridge those gaps. So whereas we've been working individually, maybe a nursing team in one hospital, one physician in another hospital, by having a forum like this, we can put our heads together and have a better plan for bridging those gaps.
A conference on the Swim for Life program and the Life Saving program was held yesterday, Tuesday, August 23, 2016, at the Bay Gardens Hotel. The St. Lucia Life Saving Association and the Life Saving Association of Canada partnered together to help train instructor trainers to improve in their swimming program in St. Lucia. Trainer with the Life Saving Association of Canada, Patrick Delmana, tells us more.
We've been working with the St. Lucia Life Saving Association for the last 15 years in helping to develop their life saving and swim program. The course that we're doing this time is related to training instructor trainers who will then be training instructors in our Swim for Life program as well as our life saving program. These instructor trainers will then be qualified to train additional instructors who can then improve on the swimming and life-saving programs in St. Lucia. This program is operating from Monday till Friday this week. The main purpose of what we do is to try and prevent drownings for all St. Lucians and visitors to St. Lucia. We believe that learning to swim is a life skill that everybody should learn, and every child should learn how to swim.
One of the members of the Life Saving Association of St. Lucia, Vanessa Eugene, said that she is here to become an instructor trainer and that they are looking forward to implementing the Swim to Survive project in primary schools for students of grade 4 to 6 and secondary school.
I am here to become an instructor trainer. As per the previous course I did last year, I got a privilege to attend the drowning prevention in Malaysia. So now I'm here to bring back the information that I got from what I learned from Malaysia. And we have a project that we are working on, which is a Swim to Survive project that we are trying to implement into the schools from grade 4 all the way up to grade 6, and also eventually get to the secondary schools. Swim to Survive is actually a project to teach children how to orient themselves in case that they're being pushed off a ledge or off a boat. It's basically a fall into water, orient yourself, tread water for a minute, and swim 50 meters. So that will help them in case anything happens. If their friend throw them off or they're at the pool and something that happens, they know how to orient themselves and get themselves back to safety.
In an item of sport, the Sandals Foundation 2016 Cricket Academy was dubbed an overwhelming success by the coaches and young players who participated in the 8-day camp, which came to a close on Monday at the Darren Semi Cricket Ground. The highlight of the closing ceremony was former England Test player Roland Butcher addressing the young players who he urged to follow their dreams. Mr. Butcher, who was born in Barbados, is now head of sports at the University of the West Indies in Cayville, Barbados, and became the first black player to be selected on an England team. He encouraged the young men to take the best of the opportunities in sports that lay before them, adding that success is built on a foundation of discipline and hard work. He commended the Sanders Foundation for the 14-year-long investment made in the development of grassroots cricket in St. Lucia. He pointed out that the role of caring corporate sponsors in nurturing young talent should not be underestimated. Veteran sports commentator Joseph Reds Pereira also lauded the initiative and urged the young men to make the best of what they have been exposed to over the course of the camp, which included not just on the training field, but also life lessons, including public speaking. Indeed, one of the most important life lessons Reds emphasized was honesty. The year-long Lee Solomon copped the Most Outstanding Player awards, while other awardees included Gavin Serrier, Best Batsman, Tyron Theodore, Best Bowler, Zidane Arthur, Best Wicket-Keeper, Dominic Ogis, Best Fieldsman, Julius Charles, Most Disciplined, and the Team Spirit Awards went to Simeon Gerson and Akim Ogis. Sandals Regency Latalk General Manager Michael James spoke of the importance of the choices people make in life and congratulated both the young players and their parents for the choice they made to participate in the camp and to walk on a positive path. This is the 14th year the Cricket Academy has been put on by the Sanders Foundation in association with the government of St. Lucia. Regionally, officials from the Caribbean Development Bank and the agency Franchise Development have signed an agreement to provide US $33 million towards financing sustainable infrastructure projects in the Caribbean region. At least 50% of the funds will be used to fund climate change adaptation and mitigation projects. The agreement was signed last month at the CDB headquarters in Barbados by French Ambassador to the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States and Barbados, Eric de la Mousseya, in the presence of CDB Vice President Operations, Patricia McKenzie. Caribbean countries are particularly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change with our geographical location leading to high exposure to natural hazards. Economic conditions also play a role as there is a lack of access to long-term resources to finance sustainable climate-related infrastructure projects. We believe that these additional funds will go a long way towards building resilience and mitigating the impact of climate change in our region, said Mrs. McKenzie. The funds are being provided by the AFD under the Credit Facility Agreement with CDB. AFD is a primary agency through which the government of France provides fundings for sustainable development projects. This marks the first time that CDB has accessed financing from AFD. The facility will be used by CDB to augment financing for infrastructure projects in severe areas, renewable energy, water and sanitation, waste management, adaptation of infrastructure to the effects of climate change, protection of coasts and rivers. Countries that are eligible to benefit from these facilities are Antigua and Barbuda, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Suriname. The facility is also complemented by a $3 million technical assistance grant, which will finance feasibility studies for projects eligible for financing under the credit facility. Now for the weather report. Present weather at Tiranura, fair. At George F. L. Childs, partly cloudy. Total rainfall for the month thus far at Tiranura, 148.3 millimeters. At George F. L. Childs, 123.0 millimeters. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:55 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from the southeast near 12 miles per hour or 19 kilometers per hour, becoming lighter at times. Weather generally fair today, becoming cloudy at times later this evening with some showers, and the light chance of isolated thunderstorms. Seas slight to moderate with waves near 3 to 5 feet or 0.9 to 1.5 meters. Forecast for the Lesser Antilles. Over the Leeward Islands, it will generally cloudy with showers and a few thunderstorms. Elsewhere, it will be cloudy at times, with some showers mainly during the night and morning. Tropical weather outlook: a tropical wave in the vicinity of the Leeward Islands is expected to continue, causing some cloudy spells with showers and a few thunderstorms over the northern eastern Caribbean over the next 24 hours. At 11 a.m. today, a center of Tropical Storm Gastor was located near latitude 16.1 degrees north, longitude 49.4 degrees west. Gastor is moving west-northwestward at 18 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. It is expected to become a hurricane later today. Gastor's projected track will keep it over the open Atlantic, and it will not be expected to affect the Lesser Antilles. Now here is where we come to the end of TCT's Daily Major, but before we go, another recap at your headlines. The Prime Minister is said to be very impressed with the track record of Desert Star Holdings. The St. Lucia Labour Party's parliamentarian sideline. 40 years of scholarship assistance to some of Leeward and Windward Brewery Limited employees' children. And US $43 million to finance climate change resilient infrastructure in the Caribbean. TCT's Daily Major was brought to you by Dubulais Bottling Company, Ference Food Products, Ramco Charmin, and One Caribbean Newspaper. I am your presenter, Jima Augustine. Thanks for watching.